everybody. Hi, 我是 Yangyang.
I'm Jason.
Okay, today is a very special day. 因为 today 是什么？今天是什么？
中秋节。
中秋节。Mid-Autumn Festival, and which is also AKA known as
what's
Moon Festival.
Moon Festival. Yeah, I was like, what's the other name for it?
Yeah, we don't call it 月亮节, we call it
right.
中秋节.
Which is literally mid-zhōng, right? 秋 meaning autumn, 节 meaning festival. But what I think is funny, right, is that it's not the middle of autumn right now.
No, it's not.
So why is it 中秋节?
Because Mid-Autumn Festival or Moon Festival is going by lunar year.
That's right. So it's doubling down on the fact that it's a lunar festival, right? Because it's according to the lunar calendar, it's mid-autumn.
Right, and it's like a really, really important holiday for us, for Chinese people.
Yeah.
It's a holiday for family reunion, and this is the time that if you're spending time alone, you'll really miss your home.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the American Thanksgiving holiday, right? Where it's not about money or gifts, right? It's just about getting together with your family, eating together, and being thankful and being happy to be with your loved ones.
Absolutely. You know, for 春节 that you always give 红包, the red pocket. But for 中秋节 we give 月饼 as present, actually. 月饼
which is also literally moon cake.
Yeah, moon cake.
Right.
Bing is usually for like 饼干 crackers or anything like pastry.
Yeah.
So moon pastry, so 月饼. And today, in our hangout, we're going to have like 3 parts, okay? The very first part is that we're going to blind taste 月饼. Jason doesn't really know what kind of 月饼, he's going to have because there's so many different flavors of 月饼with different fillings. Really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, we are going to teach you the most famous ancient poem.
Yeah, and it's related to the moon.
Yes.
People often use this poem around the time of 中秋节, and it's definitely the most famous.
Yeah, if you learn how to recite this, you'll really just wow your Chinese friends. And then follow that, we're going to have a Q&A from you guys. Okay, let's get started, huh? Let's start with the 月饼. So first, for people who don't really know what 月饼 is, we have a few things to show you here.
Ooh.
So this is what like a 月饼 is like, right?
Yeah, it's like really fancy, right? Like giving someone a box of 月饼 is all about the presentation of the box, and it's very beautiful. It's a tin, right? It's not cheap usually.
No, not at all. And the 月饼 here can cost a lot of money. So look at this. Oh, how beautiful the packaging
is. Playing the pipa?
Yeah, playing the pipa. You see, like for things like this like little box, and I just bought it from the grocery store here. It's like maybe $15 just for tiny little.
That's not so bad for 4 of them. I guess if they're really good, it's not so bad, right?
Yeah, for 月饼 there are different 馅儿. You know, 馅儿, when we say 馅儿, right? That means like filling.
Yeah, and they can be filled with like what if you think of a bing in English or think of a cake, right? You imagine sugary, sweet, and always like really like dessert-like, but 月饼 are not always like that, right? Some 月饼 are far more savory or salty in my experience. And so I will say, first of all, that I don't say I love 月饼 because it depends on the 月饼, right? So some 月饼I like, but some of them I have been very unpleasantly surprised by the contents of the 月饼.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's try some. Okay, let's just try some today.
Okay.
The ones I'm going to show you are like the classic ones. Okay, let's start with the classic ones.
I don't know what these are. We're going to eat it at the same time. I'll try to guess what it is and say how I feel about it.
Okay, so here, I cut like the whole big 月饼 into 4 little pieces, 4小块, 然后给你1块, 你尝一下, 你看看是什么味道. 对，你吃，因为我已经知道它是什么味道了. Okay. I'm going to show you guys what I...
蛮甜的。
蛮甜的是吧? Okay, 你看看. So this is what's in that 月饼.
Is there an egg in there?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't like the egg ones. This is actually pretty good.
Okay.
I was going to say that. I was prepared. Like red bean maybe? Bean of some kind?
This is lotus paste.
Oh my gosh.
Lotus 我们叫莲蓉. Yeah. It's the most classic flavor of 月饼.
That's actually pretty good. I remember having one that had an egg in it and thinking, I don't like the saltiness, and I really didn't like it, but I really like that.
What's in there? We call it 咸鸭蛋 like 蛋黄
the yolk,
对 salty duck egg 咸鸭蛋
the yellow part, right?
And you might think it's really, really weird, but for us, it tastes so natural. The salty duck egg yolk combining with the sweet paste. It's an acquired taste, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, in all pastries, like Western pastries, there are tons of eggs, right? So it's not weird to put eggs in pastries, but it seems weird to have them so out in the part of the, like you can actually see the egg.
And actually, the having an egg is really important for the 月饼 because because it looks like the full moon, the yellow full moon. And when you have single egg, that we call it 单黄, right? We call this a yellow, so single yellow. And then if there are 2 egg yolks, and we call it 双黄蛋, and that's like the more fancy ones.
Whoa.
So most of the 月饼 are bigger size, like this one.
Yeah, the ones we were just eating are these new like miniature kinds, and they probably do that A, so you can give it to more people, and B, so you can have more flavors in one box. But the original traditional style are huge, right?
Yeah, and then this is like a 双黄蛋, which means that there are 2 egg yolks there. Okay, let's try another one. Right. Okay. Okay, so.
Hopefully there's not something too funky.
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to get this out. I cut it already. Okay, here.
All right.
你来吃，尝一下。
I think I saw a little bit of something.
你把整个都吃了。
哦。
这是什么？
我不知道。
吃起来什么感觉 ？What does it taste like？
我要坚持，等我一下。不太喜欢。
不喜欢是甜的还是咸的？是 salty or sweet?
It's like salty for sure.
Okay, salty.
Is it like a meat?
Yeah, okay. There's 里面有肉 There's meat in it. 什么肉？
我不知道。
Okay,
咸的肉。
里面还有什么？ What else?
It's like beef jerky or something.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys.
It's actually not that bad, but the problem is if you're not expecting it. It's weird, right?
Okay, so 你要我告诉你答案吗？ You want me to tell you the answer?
Maybe I should eat it first, and then.
You're still not done. 你还没有吃完吗？
对。Almost. Hold on.
Okay.
What is it? You can tell me.
Okay. 里面有没有硬的东西？ A little bit something like the hard, like the textures. Okay.
小小颗的。
那是 we call 五仁 like 5 different nuts. Yeah. And then there's also meat. Meat 是火腿。
Okay.
火腿
ham.
对，火腿 literally fire leg. That means ham.
So we did this as a blind taste test on purpose, right? But that was the first one I thought I wasn't gonna like if it was gonna be about egg. Or I figured the egg one, wherever it came, would be the one I didn't like.
One of my aunties, this is her favorite flavor, like the nuts with ham, or nuts with pork or meat.
Do you like it?
No.
Yeah, you've been in the U.S. for too long. You're too used to like.
Yeah, 对我来说现在有一点奇怪. It's a little bit weird to me now.
It's not terrible. You can tell it's high quality too, but it's just like I was saying, like you're not expecting that flavor, and so it's like a shock to your system. But if you know what you're eating, it's easier.
It's definitely an acquired taste. It's like when you're eating prosciutto, the Italian, the meat. Salty meat, and you go with the grapes or cantaloupe.
That's
right?
Totally weird, right? Yeah, for a Chinese person, I would imagine.
Okay, so let's try one more, okay?
All right. I'm hoping for something like with the Jello, chocolate maybe. Can we? I won't look. I'm hoping it's. I'm not looking, but I'm gonna imagine it's hazelnut vanilla. Ooh. Pineapple.
对，这叫做凤梨。凤梨
Nice.
is the Taiwanese way of saying pineapple. Yep. Yeah, 菠萝里面有菠萝。Yeah.
菠萝. Right? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like what I would expect from something like that, right?
Yeah, for 月饼, so the most classic one is the lotus paste, right? 还有一个是豆沙馅红豆 red bean paste. These are the 2 most classic ones. But as time goes by, the modern 月饼 also can look like something like this.
This one's not a blind test. I know what this one is.
Yeah, so this is we call the 冰皮月饼.
So like ice skin.
Yeah, ice skin. Yeah. So it tastes like mochi. It's like ice cream mooncake.
Yeah.
就是冰淇淋月饼，你要不要尝一块？
可以。So originally these are obviously a traditional Chinese, specifically.
So it looks like this. 对，这也是月饼。
But these days, right, all like Starbucks and Häagen-Dazs, they all make their own 月饼.
Things are getting fancy and fancier. And things are very, very creative too.
It's like orange. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And the thing is that Chinese people, we do give each other 月饼, right? And the thing is that 月饼 becomes a thing that people just only keep passing the gift to someone else.
Yeah, like there's a classic episode of the TV show Seinfeld where they talk about re-gifting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone gives you something you don't really want, then you re-gift it. And then I went to China and I realized everyone re-gifts their 月饼, right?
Yeah, very few people actually just love to eat 月饼, but it's really like a signature sort of thing for,
it's like
the
the symbol of, I put so much effort into getting this really nice, special, beautiful, and people like maybe compete, right? Like, look how nice the 月饼 I got you.
Yeah, it's a big deal for us. And the thing is that before my grandma, right? Like everybody gives my grandma the 月饼 they don't want because they have so much 月饼, right? So my grandma doesn't want to waste any of the food, so she ends up just eating 月饼 for the rest of the year. Right, every day for breakfast. That's just 月饼.
I thought you were gonna say like that's all she ate. Like, oh my gosh! Like,
she will have like 20 boxes of 月饼, and then that's what she eats. But anyway, so 月饼 is a big. So anyway, so this is 月饼. 你今天吃月饼了吗?
Yeah, if anybody has, make sure during the Q&A to tell us about the flavor 月饼 you ate.
Yeah, and
so festival.
So 月饼, we love 月饼, right? We like 月饼 here. And so what about the regular Chinese folks? So let's take a look at a video and see how Chinese people actually
we actually have in our intermediate course, we have a lesson that is, actually we have a couple lessons that are all about celebrating holidays. And we have interviews with real Chinese people talking about 月饼, right?
Right, 月饼, Moon Festival.
And Mid-Autumn
中秋节,
Festival. So we're in level 6 here, and we're going to go to Unit 54, and we'll just watch this one here. So in this series, we have Tong Tong, right? Our host goes out in the wild in China and asks Chinese people questions, and we use that for material to teach the language they use.
Right, we ask different people the same question and see how they respond in their own way.
Yeah, and she talks about, we ask her, how is she going to, she asked this woman on the street, how are you going to celebrate?
Or how did you celebrate?
Or how did you?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's take a look.
Cool.
请问中秋节您是怎么过的？回家陪爸妈吃了顿团圆饭。您吃月饼了吗？吃了。您喜欢吃月饼吗？还可以吧。
So she's only a 还可以吧 she about liking
Yeah,
it.
so when Tong Tong asked her, like, what did you do for the 你中秋节？请问中秋节您是怎么过的？ Let's hear.
请问中秋节您是怎么过的？
Okay, the
can listen
slower
to the
version.
slow one, yeah.
请问中秋节您是怎么过的？
Yeah, that's how you ask, like, how do you celebrate the Moon Festival? 过节, like, 过 itself means that just to celebrate, right?
Yeah, it's like to pass, right? So what it means is like kind of like saying, what are you going to do on Moon Festival? How are you going to celebrate? But it's not like celebrate. 过 just means to go through the time period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can go ask your friends today, say, hey, 中秋节你怎么过的? Right? So how did you celebrate your Moon Festival? And the person says, 回家陪爸妈吃了顿团圆饭. So here, I really want to teach you the word 团圆饭. Let's hear this real quick.
回家陪爸妈吃了顿团圆饭。
团圆饭.
Yeah, so
right?
here, 团圆饭. Okay. 团圆 together means reunion or get together, right? 饭 means just like meal. So it's a family reunion meal. That's 团圆饭.
Can it be, let's say it's some old friends or maybe like a class or something? Can you still use 团圆饭? Or is it
团圆 is
only
really
with
for family.
Okay.
Yeah, so 对, it's really just for family. So that sentence means that just they pretty much go home and eat a 团圆饭 with the family. Yeah.
Nice. So it sounds like she had a pretty traditional. Oh yeah, we gotta jump back in this way here because of the screen sharing. But she had a pretty traditional.
团圆饭. So our students might be wondering why the moon. You know how the Moon Festival is about 团圆 family reunion.
Yeah.
And first because 月亮是圆的, right? The moon is round, right?
Yeah. What's going on with that? Like the moon is That's like just cause, so. I'm like stuttering, but the moon being round is somehow associated with like reunions.
Yeah.
So to the Chinese mind, roundness.
Like that's why when we have the family round like table, it's also round because the family sits together. It's like a complete circle. Everything feels very perfect and complete.
So a circle is complete. A circle like
Yuan,
goes
yeah.
and comes back around.
Because yuan means like round, yuan, right? And also think about it, right? So if you're in China, I'm in the US, we're looking at the same moon.
Yes. So you hear about this all the time, right? This idea of the moon being so sentimental because no matter where you are, you're both looking at the same moon. I like that idea. And that comes up kind of in the poem that we're going to teach too.
Right. We're going to teach you a poem very quickly, but just before that, the reason the moon is also associated with like romance and love, right? I taught you guys a song before called 月亮代表我的心,
Yep.
the most famous Chinese pop song ever.
Yeah.
The moon represents my heart. It's we're listed in our blog, so check it out. Right?
Yeah, and there's it's listed in the blog, and you teach by playing. You actually sing the song on the piano and teach how to sing it.
Yeah, so
Which
it's
is great for karaoke because that is the only song I know for karaoke. Or maybe I know a couple, but that's like definitely the first one. Super useful.
Yeah, okay, so now, we know the 团圆饭, we know the 中秋节, and we know the 月饼, and now it's time to learn something really sophisticated
Yes.
and very impressive. Okay, it's an ancient Chinese poem, and I can really say this. It's the most famous Chinese poem. Every
Yes.
single child even knows this.
And it's written by written by Li Bai, right?
Yeah, Li Bai
Li
is
Bai.
the poet from the Tang Dynasty, Tang Chao. Okay, Li Bai.
Li Bai.
All right, so he's a really famous Chinese poet, and the name of the poem is 静夜思. 静夜思, quiet night thought. Quiet night thought. 静夜思. All right, so Jason, why don't we do this? I'll speak English and you act out.
Okay, I have this memorized, and I'm gonna do this in the what I think of as like the dramatic Chinese reading style, right? So
Okay.
it's a little overacted on purpose.
All right, let's do it. Moonlight reflects off the front of my bed.
床前明月光，
Okay. Could be frost on the ground instead?
疑是地上霜。
I look up to view the bright moon ahead.
举头望明月，
Okay. Thoughts of my hometown bring down my head.
低头思故乡。
Okay, 很好,
See,
okay.
I messed up the tones at the end there.
All right, so let's break this down so our student can learn this as well. Okay, so really show off. Okay, right after this.
And I should say that, okay, so yes, it's a lot of characters, but it's relatively easy to understand the meaning, and it's only 4 lines, so it's a pretty good, I think, poem to memorize if you're trying to memorize the Chinese.
Yeah, so it's 5 characters per verse. And it's similar to English like AABA, but because of this, now we're using the modern Chinese language to recite it. So it doesn't sound as AABA, it doesn't rhyme at the very end anymore, because in the ancient China probably it sounds something different, right?
Yeah, the pronunciation, like if you go way back to Tang Dynasty, I'm sure it wasn't exactly like standard Mandarin today.
But anyway, so let's learn this, okay? So,
Alright,
床前明月光.
which is literally bed in front of bright, which you know Ming from Ming Bai, right? Meaning bright.
bright.
Yue meaning moon, and Guang meaning light.
Yeah.
So like in front of my bed, so 床前, the moon, the bright moonlight, 明月光. And you'll also notice that this is ancient Chinese, right? So there is no articles, there's no de. 我的床前面有一很亮的明月的光. You know, there's none of these like grammatical pieces. It's just, and that's what makes ancient Chinese very cool and beautiful, right? Because it's just 床前明月光. It's like you said when we were preparing, it's like painting a picture rather than spelling it out.
Exactly,
Right.
and it's almost like painting a Chinese landscape, right? It's a few things evokes that emotion. Suddenly, I feel like, oh, beautiful, bright. You know, just you can imagine.
Yeah, he's like laying down in his bed, right? And then he like wakes up and he sees like some light coming in through the window.
Oh, sure, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, go crazy with your imagination. Okay, the second part, okay, is let me read it. 疑是地上霜.
Which is, so yi is a verb meaning to like to doubt or to wonder if, kind of, right? So I wonder if, 是 meaning to be, right? 地上, so on the ground.
On the ground.
霜,
霜.
which is like frost.
Frost. Yeah. 疑是地上霜. So you're wondering if it's frost on the ground, right?
Yeah, it's like the light from the moon almost feels like cold.
Yeah, reflecting on the ground. It's
Yeah.
beautiful but kind of sad in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, the third
Cold
verse.
winter nights.
举头望明月.
So
Okay.
举头 is to lift your head, right? 举
Yeah,
头.
举. Yeah,
So-
举 means lift, but it's the ancient way. We don't really say like lift your head. We say 举头, but the old way we do say that.
You can say like 举重, right?
Yeah,
To
举重
lift
means to
weights.
lift weight. Yeah.
So 举头 lift head. 望 is also to look at, gaze
To
upon. You said.
gaze, yeah, to
Yeah.
yeah. And 望明月, bright moon, right? 举头望明月, you lift your head and gaze at the bright moon. And then what happened? Okay. 低头思故乡.
So instead of 举头, we have 低头, which is to put your head down, right?
Lower your head.
And 思 meaning to ponder, to think about.
To miss, actually. 思念,
Oh, okay,
that's
yeah.
miss, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. To miss your 故乡, which is your home village.
Yeah, 故乡. So I can say 北京是我的故乡. Beijing is my hometown. Yeah.
Right, Beijing's not really a village, I guess, but it's a hometown.
Yeah.
You know, and this 低头, I know this already from there's a phrase 低头族, right?
Yeah.
And 族 means like group, and so the 低头族 are the people who are always looking at their cell phones like this, right?
Yeah, if you ever search for like the 低头族 3 characters, you'll see all these people on subway checking out their cell phone and not paying attention to their
Walking into
surroundings.
poles.
Yeah, exactly. So 低头思故乡. Well, so should we do this again?
Yeah, let's do the whole thing,
Okay.
starting from the beginning. Cool.
Okay. 床前明月光. Okay, you say it. 床前明月光. Okay.
Remember to say it nice and dramatic.
Oh yeah, let's say really yeah. Okay. 疑是地上霜.
that 霜, right? I think like that also gives that feeling of like
霜.
longing and
Okay.
far away. We can talk about the feeling
Go
too,
go
right?
yeah. Okay. Okay. 举头望明月. Okay, and
低头思故乡.
yeah, so one of the characteristics of the Chinese ancient poem is that they just list a fun bunch of things,
Yeah.
right? And instead of just telling you how we actually feel, but the things are actually sort of like embodiment of our feelings. Yeah, so the moon is really just the Chinese people use the moon for so many things.
Yeah, like very symbolic of this sentimentality, right? Of missing your family and missing your hometown and being away from home, and yeah, this.
And then, so you see the poem, they will never say, "Oh, I'm so so nostalgic. I'm so sad." Chinese poems, they will never say that.
Yeah, he doesn't explain how he's feeling. He just kind of talks
Or they
about.
don't say how they feel, you know,
Yeah.
because I realized that in English you have all these emotional words, but in Chinese the words about to describe your emotions are so limited because Chinese people were just not so used to just putting our heart there.
Yeah, wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, and the feeling of this poem is really cool, right? Because he's laying in bed, the moonlight shines in, and then he thinks, wow, it's probably pretty cold out. I bet there's some frost on the ground. And then he looks up at the moonlight, and
举头望明月.
and then that makes him lower his head and think like, man, I miss my home or whatever, right? That's so simple, but I get it, right? I feel like the feeling that's being conveyed with that story is I think it's very relatable, and that's why it's been so long lasting.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the beauty of the Chinese poem, because the most complicated, sophisticated feelings are usually reduced to the most simple language. So, well, I hope that gives you a taste of our beautiful Chinese poem.
Yeah.
So this will be your first one, right?
And we have a blog post that has this poem in it. It has audio files you can click
I recorded
to that Yangyang recorded.
Yeah.
You can listen to that. We have a couple videos embedded in the post where people read this poem.
Yeah, actually, one of our students, Ke Ruixin, 2 years ago, actually, I got on this Chinese reality show called Awesome Educator. On the show, my student, Ke Ruixin, this 19-year-old boy, was actually reciting this poem on the stage.
He did a better job than me because he didn't screw the tones up.
Without any preparation. So go check it out in our blog, which is listed in the description part of the YouTube video.
Yeah, and go leave a comment and join the discussion. We love to talk to people.
Absolutely. So this is what we want to do for our 中秋节 celebration. So we'd love to take some questions from you. You can share with us if you have had 月饼 today. What kind of filling? 什么馅儿的，对不对？
对 Tell us about the 月饼 you've had. Maybe if you've celebrated it in the past, what have you done?
Or any Chinese learning questions. We're here just to help you. Yeah?
All right, should we go to the Q&A?
Let's do it.
All right, I think this is it here. Hello!